We are all focused on this historic day in the Manhattan District. Still, I'm getting a lot of people coming to me saying, hey, don't forget about Tennessee. And they're absolutely right. What's going on in Tennessee is vitally important. Might be a sign of things to come, at least I hope so. We know Tennessee has some of the loosest gun laws in all of the country. We know that the Tennessee governor would like to make them looser. He wants any knucklehead to walk around with a gun doing whatever the fuck he wants. All this while we just had a school shooting in Nashville. 3 children, 3 adults were murdered for no fucking good reason. Now you would think the governor and the government of Tennessee would say, oh no, we got to protect our people. But no, they don't give a fuck about the people. They want to put the people at more risk. They don't care about protecting our children. So the young people in Nashville about had enough. And they walked out of class, they got together, and they protest and walked toward the state capitol. Protesting all the way. Now, some people would have you believe it was hundreds, maybe a couple thousand. What I've heard, it was like 10 or 12,000, and that is significant. And as an old guy that can remember the 60s, it's kind of reminiscent of the 60s. And if it repeats what happened in the 60s, God help old white men, because they're in fucking trouble. You see, in the 60s, we had the Vietnam War, we had civil rights, we had women's rights. And it wasn't going well for those things. And the young people of the 60s got pissed off. The hippies and the mods or whatever the fuck they were. They were mad and they came out in mass. I mean, huge numbers in colleges all over the country, in cities. It was a mess. But I tell you what, those hippies and all those kids protesting against the Vietnam War, they were largely responsible for that war coming to an end. They applied so much pressure, they had to stop the war. Now, why this is important to white politicians today is you have to understand that millennials and Gen Zs are slowly taking over. By 2028, they will have the majority of the votes. And you old white fucks won't have a prayer. When the young people start an uprising and start fighting back about the inequities of this country, all you old people have a fucking problem. And it started in Nashville. And if you don't think it's going to spread, you're fucking kidding yourself. Times are a-changin', as Bob Dylan once said, and maybe we have the 60s back again.